watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall.
And good evening. I'm Annalisa Gale. Well, right now, a Prince George's County jury is hearing new testimony from a woman accused in the murder and dismemberment of her own mother in Hyattsville last spring.
And we want to warn you that some viewers may find the details of this story disturbing. And DC News Now's Randy Bass was there as her daughter gave graphic testimony this afternoon. Randy.
Yes, Candace Craig is accused in the murder of her own mother, Margaret Craig, last spring. Prosecutors in the case say she tried to dismember her mother with a chainsaw and burn her remains on a charcoal grill. Again, we do want to warn you before we get into more details of this story that some of them are incredibly graphic. We heard today, though, from the granddaughter in this case, Celia Hardy, now 21 years old. She did not have the chance to finish her testimony in court today, but the details she was able to give the jury incredibly graphic, saying back on May 23rd of last year, she heard her grandmother scream. Later that day, her mother told her not to go into grandma's room. The next day, that's where Hardy says she found her grandmother dead in a blue storage bin with a bag over her head and blood on the carpet nearby. Hardy says after that, her mother, Candace Craig, told her they had to get rid of the DNA, either using acid, burning the body, or chopping her up. Days later, she says they bought fire and grilling supplies at Home Depot before going home, turning on the grill and cooking chicken to cover up the smell of Margaret Craig's burning body in the woods out back. The fire started to spread and neighbors grew concerned. The fire department was called, but when they got there, the fire was already out. And when that didn't work, she says they brought the grandmother back into the home, and that's when her mother ordered a chainsaw on Amazon. When it got there, she says her mother used that to split her grandma into dozens of pieces. She says when she smelled something bad and realized what her mother was doing, she became sick and vomited. That is where today's testimony ended here in Upper Marlboro. Again, Celia Hardy, the granddaughter at the center of this case, testifying in her mother's murder trial after pleading guilty earlier this year to the charge of accessory to murder after the fact. Prosecutors told her in this case she will face a sentence of 3 months to 4 years. Her testimony continues tomorrow morning here at the Prince George's County Courthouse at 8:30 in the morning. Reporting in Upper Marlboro, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Randy, thank you. New body camera video shows the moments following what prosecutors describe as an elaborate double murder scheme in Northern Virginia. Police found Christine Banfield stabbed inside of her Herndon home last year before she died at the hospital. This new video showing the moments police arrived at the Banfield home. The au pair speaking with police, claiming that there was a standoff between Brendan Banfield and the man named Joe Ryan at the house.
I'm gonna kill her, I'm gonna kill her. And I don't know, he started stabbing her. I think Brendan shot him, and he asked me help to shot him too.
Well, police later determined the au pair's story did not add up and that she had a sexual relationship with Banfield. Earlier this week, she pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of Joseph Ryan. A live look outside at the Washington Monument. It is another nice day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, beautiful Wednesday indeed. Let's turn over to meteorologist Damon Matson. Damon, don't know if I should put on the coat, take off the coat. I'm so confused these days.
We have to think about it. It's definitely keeping us on our toes. And if you're not a fan of this warmth and you just want us to stay chilly now that we're in late October, this is not the forecast for you in that sense, because my goodness, this warmth has hit a peak here today, folks. No coats are needed, just short sleeves, possibly some shorts as you go about the next few hours. Temperatures, again, we didn't quite hit 80, it looks like, in DC. It was 78 last hour. We've dropped back a couple of degrees to 76, but hey, still close enough. And we still have 81 in Frederick, 81 in Fredericksburg, Culpeper. So plenty of other spots in the DMV did make it into the lower 80s, only a few degrees shy of setting records. That's how warm we are, folks. And as we go into the rest of your evening, there's going to be some clouds filling in, but that is going to actually help keep temperatures up. We'll drop out of the 70s after the sun goes down, but look at this. We are still very much in the 60s. It is not going to get chilly tonight as we continue to have these temperatures, for the most part, staying warm as we go into your Halloween. And there is a chance tomorrow, folks, as we dial things up even warmer still, that we could see some of the warmest temperatures on Halloween on record across the DMV. These are the numbers we have to reach, lower to middle 80s. Will we get there? And how will that impact potentially your trick-or-treat events or anything else you may have going on tomorrow? We'll have a look at your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, developing at this hour, a former Maryland mayor arrested on child pornography charges. Joel Bierman served as mayor of University Park from June 2022 until June 2024. Before that, he also served on the town council for 2 years. The FBI executed a search warrant at his home earlier this week. We're working to learn more about what he's accused of there. Stay with DC News Now for updates on air and online.
Scary moments this morning when a car went flying off the top of a parking garage. A woman is recovering, and people who saw the aftermath in Chevy Chase still are talking about it. DC News Now's Kevon Dupree covers Montgomery County for us, and he spoke to some of the witnesses.
Certainly a frightening scene just across the street here. A car with a woman inside fell from the top level of the parking garage. That's 4 stories above the ground. People heard a loud crash and went to go see what happened. This was the horrifying scene from the Hills Plaza side of the Barlow building Wednesday morning. Montgomery County police say a woman tried to park her car on the top floor of the parking garage when she accidentally pressed the gas pedal. The car broke through the safety gate and hit the street upside down.
Just got ready to get my day started, and I just see my coworker, and he told me to come real quick. And he said that he heard a loud bang. He's like, let's go check it out.
Johnny Lopez works in the building next to the garage and has a view of the top deck from his office window.
We saw the gate was broken, so we thought that was just the gate. But then when we came down is when we saw the car and the lady that was in the car just in shock, and she was just down there, and people were just trying to console her. Luckily, it didn't seem like she had any scratches or anything. She seemed perfectly fine. I mean, I'm sure she'll probably feel pain a little bit. You know, the adrenaline probably kicked in and she wasn't feeling anything.
The woman who was in the car went to the hospital with minor injuries, something that seems incredible to Lopez.
It could have been worse. You know, the way the car landed and everything like that, it could have been a lot worse.
The car fell near the garage's monthly parking entrance. That entrance was closed for a while, but has since reopened. Reporting in Chevy Chase, I'm Kevon Dupree, DC News Now.
All right, Kevon, remarkable. Well, now to that decision regarding Virginia's voter rolls. The Supreme Court is allowing Virginia to remove 1,600 potential non-citizens from their voter rolls. The court did not provide a rationale for the emergency appeal. Both a federal judge and a federal appeals court previously ruling that Virginia's voter purge was illegal and ordered the court to reinstate those removed.
This is a win for common sense. It's a win for the rule of law. It means that Virginia can continue to be allowed to follow our own laws, this idea that Virginia citizens should be deciding Virginia elections.
Governor Glenn Youngkin issuing a statement after the ruling, which you can find right now on our website, dcnewsnow.com. Also, it's important to note here that according to a lawyer for the private groups that sued, people removed from the rolls can still re-register to vote on Election Day and cast their ballots.
While Vice President Harris will spend the next several days crisscrossing the country visiting battleground states, she's expected back in D.C. on Tuesday.
Yeah, a source telling our media partners at The Hill that Harris will spend election night at her alma mater, Howard University.
And that's where we find DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg. Daniel, what's the atmosphere on campus like?
Oh, well, Mark and Annalisa, students here are excited about the possibility of having Vice President Harris here on campus next week. The university actually sent out a notice last night saying classes will be held virtually Monday through Thursday, and classes will be completely canceled on Tuesday in anticipation of the Vice President's visit. The tens of thousands of people who crowded the National Mall Tuesday night for Vice President Kamala Harris's speech could soon show up on Howard University's campus. As a source tells our media partners at The Hill, that's where she'll be on election night.
I think it's very important that she's here because she is a fellow Bison.
Students are excited to have Howard in the spotlight.
I think it's great, support your alma mater, support the students of Howard University. HBCUs are overlooked, so this is a perfect way to put a spotlight on HBCUs and minority communities as a whole.
With Harris's speech Tuesday night, there were numerous road closures and fencing around the ellipse. It's not clear what measures will be in place at Howard.
With proper security procedures in place, nothing horrendous is going to happen, and hopefully as long as they maintain organization, but it is definitely going to be a very large crowd, and I definitely look forward to seeing how it goes.
Students we talked with plan to be on campus to witness history, no matter how hectic it may be on November 5th.
Having a presidential candidate have the opportunity to become president of the United States and be the first black woman to be president and come from your school too, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I did reach out to DDOT to ask about potential street closures and parking restrictions. They said that MPD is handling that in coordination with the Secret Service, though MPD tells me they have not finalized those plans just yet. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.